Welcome back, student. Today we are going to see the radio button and checkbox and radio button. Okay. Before going to this, today we are going to see checkbox and radio. Before that, we will see what we have done in the last class. Okay. Go back here. In the last class, we studied about the form, how to make the form, and what is a web browser. Okay. Change the color. Like, see, we saw what is web browser. Okay. We saw the form data, and we saw the web server. Okay. If you want in detail of this, then you need to see the previous class. Okay. Fine. So we saw what is control, what is widget, and what is component. Okay. In the form, we saw the element and attribute. What is element and what is attribute? Okay. And we saw the difference between get and post, and we saw what is a URL. Okay. And what is the submit button is used? It will use to send your data to the server. The text string is often called the query string. Okay. And we saw the difference between get and post. Okay. Get is less secure than post. In the get, if you are giving username and password, then it will be visible on the address bar. What is address bar? Where you will write like www.google.com. So this, where you will write this www.com, that is called address bar. ADD, address bar. Okay. So whatever you are going to write in the address bar, that is www.google.com. So this is also called as URL. Okay. So in that you will get the username and password. So you should not pass the username and password with the help of get. Whenever if you have a username and password, just use the post. Okay. So this all about that only. Okay. And we saw the input element. This is important in the form input element. Based on the input element only, you can insert text, password, checkbox, radio button, email address, okay, reset and submit and URL and so on. Okay. With the help of input element only. Okay. So in the last class we saw about only text. Okay. How to give the text and how to give the password. Okay. Like I told you, username and password. So username will be visible like this and password is star. In place of that, if you want dollar also you will get. Okay. But by default it will be a star. Okay. Text element. Okay. Like input element we are encapsulating together with the label tag. Okay. Label phone, then input type is equals to text name is equals to the phone. Okay. So we will do the practice. Okay, practical. First I will finish the input types, then we will go to the practical session. Okay. Now today's class is about the checkbox and the radio button. What is checkbox and radio button? In the last class I told you about little bit about the radio button and checkbox. Today we are going to see in detail. What is checkbox? What is checkbox? Okay. So checkbox and radio control are used to collect multiple choice input from the user. The checkbox control is single button that is either on or off, checked or unchecked. So checkbox is represented as in the form of box. Okay. In the form of box. Maybe this is unchecked, AED, unchecked, and this is a checked. Okay. So this is a two buttons, checked and unchecked. If a checkbox button is on, the value associated with the name of the button is the string assigned to its value attribute. When it is checked, so whatever the value is assigned to this checkbox, that will associate and string assigned to the value attribute. And whatever you are going to write here, like I will write this is like consider grocery, okay, and this is milk, okay, and this is coffee, okay, and another box sugar, okay. So this is things are there. So I want, sometime I want only milk, sometime I want coffee, sometime I want sugar, and sometime I want all, okay. Because of that we need to use the checkbox, okay. So this is about checkbox, okay. This is an example, and how to write this example in the code in the HTML language, that also we will see, okay. A checkbox button does not contribute to the form data if it is not checked. If it is not checked, this value will be not taken by the form data, okay. If it is checked, then only form data it will take the value milk. If coffee and sugar is not checked, so this two value will not take in the form data, okay. Fine. Every checkbox button required a name attribute and a value attribute, name attribute and value attribute in its input tag. This also will write in input tag, okay. Okay, the attribute checked, which is assigned to the value checked, specifies that the checkbox button is initially on, okay. Like example, whenever I open the form, so I want milk should be checked, every time it should be checked. So that also can be possible. Initially you can make it on, you don't need to click and check, automatically when the form load it will check. How we will see that? In many cases checkbox appear in the list, with each one in the list having the same name, thereby forming a checkbox group. Checkbox element should appear in label element, okay. Checkbox element should appear in label element. Label element is nothing but like in a label tag slash label tag. In between this you need to write the input, okay. In the last class we saw like how to encapsulate input and label together, okay. So this is about the checkbox. Now we'll see the checkbox example. What is the checkbox example? Like same thing, form action, we are not passing anything to the server, is not passing to the server, because of that we are not giving anything, just double quote, okay. P is a paragraph tag, and label input type checkbox grocery. What is this input type checkbox? Means what is the type of this? This is a input type checkbox. What I am writing? Checkbox, okay. And what is the name? Name is a grocery. I am defining the name for easily identification, okay. Name is equals to grocery. So I am writing the code for the grocery. Value, what is a value? Value is milk, I want milk, okay. Checked, is equals to check. What is this means? As I just told you, this point initially it will be checked. So, in the same way, if you check is equals to check, then when the form is loaded, at that time this milk button will be checked. Okay. Milk will return after the checkbox. Why? Because first we are writing the input type, then we are writing the label. Okay. When first we are writing the input, then we are writing the label. Because of that, first the input type will be display, then your label will be display. Okay. If you want to display this milk before this, you need to write this milk. Okay. You need to write this milk here. If you write here milk, M-I-L-K, then you remove this. If you write milk here, then it will display like M-I-L-K checkbox. Okay, like this. If you want to display in this form, you must write before the input type. If you want after the checkbox, so you need to write the input type checkbox last before closing the label tag, right, then it will display in this format. Okay. So, this is a input type for the milk. Next is same thing, we are encapsulated the label input type is equals to checkbox. Okay, I am writing the checkbox, and what is the name? Same, grocery. And what is the value? Now I want the bread. I want bread. Can you see this code is not written here? Why? Because whenever it is load, this tag should be, this checkbox should be checked. So, if you have like 1, 2 and 3, if 3 boxes are there, okay, in the first one it is check milk. What does it mean? Means that I want milk whenever form is load. Next one is bread, B-R-E-A-D, bread, but here it is not checked, so it will be empty, it will nothing here. Okay. Next, label input type is equals to checkbox. Okay, once again I am designing the checkbox, and the name is grocery, and the value is egg, E-G-G-S, eggs. Okay, I want eggs, and whatever the value you are writing here, it is not displaying here. Okay, whatever you are writing here, okay, whatever you are writing here, here egg, this value is not displaying, the label value is displaying this, okay, milk, this is a capital B, bread, and this is a capital E. Okay. So, whatever you are writing in the label, that is displaying here. So, by default it is a check here. Okay. Why it is checked? Because we have given in the code is check. In the HTML code we told that whenever the milk is here, this tag should be checked. Okay. And we close the P tag, we open the P tag here, and we closed here, and the form is open and closed. Fine. So, this is a checkbox example. Okay. I hope you understand this. This is a simple, to use the input tag we are taking the checkbox. Okay. Now, we will see the radio button. Okay. What is radio button? Radio button is used to check any one of from the given group. Like see, the difference between a group of radio button and group of checkbox is that only one radio button can be on or pressed at any time. Example, in the checkbox, can you see here in the checkbox, if I want this, I can also check. So here the two checkboxes I can check at the same time, okay. But here in the radio button, and radio button is represent as circle, okay. Radio button is represent as circle, and any one of the radio button is selected only one, any one. So if I selected this one, then I cannot select rest of the radio button. So where we can use this, we can use for like grocery and some other shopping purpose. You can buy multiple things, but where we can use the radio button, in the radio button, like you can consider the main important is male, female, okay, or others. So any one of this you can select. In every form you will find this field, in every form, okay, which is related to engineering or which is related to any other thing, you will find this common field, common radio button, male, female, or others, okay. So this is any one of the thing you can select at a one time. Like if you are male, definitely you should not be a female or other. If you are female, then you should not be a male or others. So you cannot select. So because of that, radio button is there to get the accurate data, okay. If you use here checkbox, so everyone will check all the things, then you will not get the appropriate and correct data. If you have this thing, radio button, then you will get the correct data, and this is for like selecting any one of this option, okay. Like in engineering, we will get like this circle, this circle, this circle, this circle. Like here CSE, IT, civil, ECE, okay. Any one of the thing can be selected. IT, okay, I selected IT. If I am in IT, then definitely I cannot be in civil, in ECE and CSE, okay. Because of that, we will select the radio button, okay. Next point, every time a radio button is pressed, the button in the group that was previously on is turned off. Example, if I selected here, take here example in the IT, if I selected here, okay, if I select here example, okay, if I select here, this will remove, okay, this will remove and this will select automatically, clear. If I selected this one example, okay, so automatically whatever the previous one that will delete, okay. So whatever the previous one, that option will remove and the current will be selected, okay. So this is a previous one is turned off, okay. The type value from radio button is radio. What is the input type? Input type is radio, okay. All radio button in a group must have the name attribute set in the input tag, and all radio button in the group must have the same name value, okay. This is important. All radio button in the group must have the name attribute set in the input tag, okay, and all radio button in the group must have the same values. Like if you are using here male, female, other, this is all the same value. If you are using here something else like mail, IT, CSCs, you are mixing, then it is not a proper way. So you must have the same name value. Okay. The radio button definition may specify which button is to be initially in pressed or on state. Example, as I told you here, initially it is selecting to the milk here, okay, here. In the same way, here also you can initially which button should be on, you can select. So this is a code for radio button. Okay. In the radio button, like in the HTML code, like document type, HTML, and this is comment. This all is comment box, COMMENT, and it will not execute in the exam. Sorry, it will not execute in the code, HTML code. This is only for the developer. Okay. Next is HTML tag, opening tag, head opening tag, and title. What is the title? Where it will display? It will display at the top here. Okay. When you execute the code, meta character set is equals to UTF-8. Here head. So in the head tag, we will write the title, we will write the metadata, and we will write the CSS code also, and we can give the link in head tag. Okay. Now the main part is body. Now here we are taking the example of the age category. So first I took the paragraph and I wrote the age category. Okay. Next I am creating the form. In the form P, label input type radio. As I told you here, what is the input type? Input type is radio. Radio name is equals to age. What I am looking for? Age. And what is the value? That should be under 20. Checked is finish. Checked is checked. Means first it will create radio button after this code. Okay. And after checked means it is checked here. But now what is the label? Label is 0 to 19. Okay. This is a label that is displaying here. Next one is next label, input type radio. Okay. Name, what is the name? Age, the same thing. The value should be from 20 to 35, 20 to 35. So first it will create a circle option, radio button. In the radio button, then after that it will display the label. It will display this one. Okay. It will display this one, 20 to 35. In the same way, next code, label input type is equals to radio. Okay. Name is age, then the value is 36 to 50, then select 36 to 50. Okay. Next, value input type, okay, age, value is equals to over 50, then the over 50. The next is over 50. Okay. So this is a code, and this all will come under in single line. Okay. That will come under in single line. If you want to break in this format like 0 to 19, 20 to 35, 36 to 50, then over 50. If you want in this format, then you must, what we can do, if you want this, already we have done in the first class HTML. Here we need to write break, BR, okay, BR. Okay. If you want the line, like this, so you must use HR, horizontal line, okay, slash HR slash HR slash HR slash horizontal line HR slash, it will display in the last also. So if you know what are the tags we can use, and you can use that tag and you can decorate your form as well. So this is about radio button, okay, and we'll see some of the thing like input type is equals to URL. You can make for the URL also, you can make for the email also, and range is also you can give like my age minimum 18 to 110, like that, okay, my email, my age, my URL, my email, my age. Clear? Okay. So here you can give the name, all you can give the name as well as you can give the ID. And what is this? This is important. Hint and placeholder. What is this placeholder? Means input type is equals to text. We have given the text. ID is name. And what is the name? Name is the name. Size 30 and placeholder your name. So how it will display means this is a text box, okay, this is a text box. Here if you don't want the label, in place of label, here you can get very light color, okay, light means take this one, your name. It will return in the box itself your name. When you click here, then you can able to write your name. So a text box only is telling you what to do, okay. If you don't have the label also, no problem. In the text box itself, the placeholder is telling you to write your name, okay. So this is like hint or placeholder for the user to identify what we need to write in this text box, okay. So today I will stop here. In the next class we will see the select option, we will see the menu, how to create the menu, okay. Then we will do the practical, okay. So what we have done today, we saw about the checkbox, okay, what is checkbox and input tag, okay, and checkbox will represent as small square, okay, and if you want initially check, so you need to write the check like this, okay. And this is a grocery, sometime you want all the things what in the grocery almost, and what or at least you want first any one of this, so you can get from this. Grocery is one of the example for the checkbox, and radio button is for like you can commonly used in the form is male, female, others, okay. Or if you go to the engineering colleges, then you will find the form like CSE or IT, civil, EC, you will get some of the option. Any one of this option is you must select, you cannot select multiple options, okay. So at that time radio button will be select. If you want to select more than one option, at the time you need to use the checkbox code, okay. If you want any one of the given option, if you want to select only one, at the time you need to use the radio button. And we saw how to, this is a command and radio button, this is a basic tag, okay. And here we are giving the input type, and we got the answer 0 to 19, and 0 to 19, this will be display if this code. If you use this HR and BR, then it will display this after every finishing of the line, it will get this line, okay, like this. If you want in the next line, you need to use the break tag. If you want any horizontal line, you need to use the HR, okay, and some of the other input tags like URL, because we already told you. Fine, no problem. You can use for URL, email, range. So this is a tag, and this you can use in the code as well. So in the next class we will see the select option, okay, and we will see the menu, like if you go to home tab, okay, you will get in the website about us, contact us, home, okay. How to do that we will see in the next class, okay. Thank you for like and subscribe. Fine.